Good blessed Friday afternoon, October the 14th, 2022. It's about 2:30 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you even like me or anything I say or do. That's your prerogative. You have a right. Today I'm going to come with a few topics, but I want to stress again that I don't advocate violence, nor do I encourage hate. I'm not a racist, and those that know me and my family, if you see the Ivory family, you don't see us out in the streets gangbanging. You don't see us out in the streets selling drugs. You don't see us out in the streets, especially our children out in the streets, disrespecting their elders or disrespecting anybody else. What I want to just say is, when you come on the 600 block of Vine, don't just give my family respect, give our whole block respect, because we try to keep everything peaceful, decent, and in order. And any time that I complain about something, I complain about it for a reason. And I'm going to show you some of the reasons. I'm going to give you a little something from yesterday, I believe it was. A young lady, she couldn't have been a good 22 years old. She came by and drove past and then stopped and backed up, and she said, do you know such and such? And I said, no, I don't know such and such. I'm not going to say the name. And she asked me, what's my name? She said, I think I know you. I said, my name is Raymond. And she said, oh, you famous. I said, what do you mean? When she was speaking about my YouTube video, which I told her I'm not famous, which I know I'm not famous. I really don't want to be famous. But she was telling me that her GPS was saying that her car was in this area. An individual, a female that was in the car with her boyfriend, which is the boyfriend of a couple other people here in Charleston and in Sykeston, had stole her car. And I told her I'd look on my camera, because we don't like that type of traffic coming down on the 600 block of Vine in Charleston, Missouri. And I know other people don't like that, And, we centered it down, and her car was found, if you turn the camera this way, all the way down to the left, where you see that reddish or maroon metal roof on that house on the left-hand side. It was found hidden up in there. And the individual that she mentioned deal with a female in this town, which it starts a lot of confusion with a brother that's a nice brother that have babies by a baby by this female, that this guy who stole the car, which he don't live here, just got out of the pen. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about people that go to the pen and come out, because I done been in and out. And the thing is, not only is this young guy starting confusion among sisters and some brothers, but he bringing chaos on our block. But I'm gonna leave for right now, but I want to show you something else. Before I file something with the Human Rights Commission, or before I file a federal lawsuit, I always try to make the people see what they doing wrong. And if they don't want to correct their wrong, then what I do is file with the Human Rights Commission. Once the Human Rights Commission is done, if thing is not settled, then I go to the federal lawsuit. But we'll talk about that later. Let's start off with this particular letter here from the
Housing Authority of the city of Charleston, Missouri. You can see the street. It got 700 South Elm Street, but the street has been changed for a few years to Cy Williams Avenue. You see when it was sent March the 9th, 2022, you see he was sent to Mr. Raymond Ivy. Okay, you can see the nature of the letter, ban and bar notice. Okay, dear Mr. Ivy, your constant state of anger expressed it towards Charleston Housing Authority, CHA employees and tenants, in your constant trespassing in a tenant's backyard while ranting and raving has caused concern for the safety and peaceful enjoyment of said employees and tenants. We're going to address that first. Now I'm about to show you what the executive director of the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Housing Authority called ranting and raving. You can see what's coming in from the other side of the bushes from the housing authority. I don't know if you can see it or not. You know, I mean, this is just a little bit. I'm not going to rant or rave, or as he said. But you can see what's all in the bushes, and that's not a big complaint. I want you to just take a look down. You can see all of these leaves from the big oak trees that he said he gonna do me a favor and take down the 250-year-old oak trees. You notice in the grass here that you don't see many leaves. You know why? Because the wind is blowing them. You see where they blowing them at. And when he talking about ranting and raving, I started complaining, what he called ranting and raving. I started complaining. Hey, I'll be back with you. He called ranting and raving is me complaining. See, I've been living over here for 15 years. On this side of the bushes, I used to go all the way down to the end and trim them out to keep them, and I get everything that I trim, plus some of the leaves that comes, and you know, every now and then the trash. But they had the housing authority have people that get paid to get this stuff up. And if you look at some of my YouTube videos, they just wasn't doing their job. You know, I complained November of 2021. I complained December of 2021, not just once a month. I'm talking about at least 2 or 3 times out of a week, but mainly trash and children's that's unmonitored. But anyway, that's what he called ranting and raving. But and he said I'm constantly addressing my anger at the housing authority employees and the tenants. Is one particular tenant that moved here from down the street from 719 Vine Street after their apartment got burned up. That moved down here. I wasn't complaining about everybody in the house. I'm complaining about the people that has unattended children tearing up my bushes. My camera caught them putting trash in my bushes. Caught them bringing trash over here, throwing it down. You know, what do you do if you complaining November, December, January, February, March? You see what I'm saying? And you complain to the people that live there, the adults. You complain to the maintenance individuals. You complain to the maintenance individual foreman. The foreman talk to the people, to the residents. The residents don't do nothing. Then you go and talk to the executive director, and he don't do nothing. What do you do then? Just keep on saying, oh, I'll just keep cleaning this here up. You see, they don't care whether I clean it up or not because they don't work over here. But you know, my YouTube videos was expressing how I felt, just like Jesus felt
when the merchants was going into the synagogue selling things. He got angry and turned over the table. I got upset and I got to expressing that I don't like the fact that these people study putting all this mess in my yard or in their backyard and not cleaning it up. And like you see all these pile of bushes, all them pile of leaves, you see where they going. I give it to the white contractors that they have. They come every now and then when they cut. I ask them if they would not cut the leaves and blow it into my bushes. And I asked them with the papers there, would they not cut the paper where to go? And they respect that. One lady, a white lady, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, she asked me, can she go on the other side of my bushes and blow them out? And I told her she didn't have to, but she wanted to because she said she's a property owner. And she recognized, and other people cut, that's the subcontractors for the Charles, Missouri Housing Authority. They notice how filthy these people is, and not only the fact of that, they notice how the housing authority don't have it clean. But that's what he called ranting and raving. You see what I'm saying? Complaining. But you seen the letter was dated March the 9th. But I complained several times in November 2021, several times in December 2021, several times in January 2022, several times in February 2022, several times in March of 2022. The last time I went up there to the Housing Authority and talked to Paul Page, the Executive Director of the Charles, Missouri Housing Authority. He didn't want to do anything. He didn't really even want to talk. The lady went back there, he wouldn't even come back. I asked them for the number. They act like they didn't have the number, so I Googled it up and found it. And I sent an email to the St. Louis office, to HUD, on the 8th of March. On the 9th of March, that's when the letter came. But I just want to show y'all, I did all I can. I didn't make it where it would be the residents in Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority, or the employees for the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority would feel uncomfortable or threatened by me. You see what I'm saying? All I did was try to have them to clean up. And apparently, he must have been watching, when I say he, the executive director and anybody else from the Housing Authority, watching my YouTube video, because I didn't direct nothing to nobody personally. I was exercising my 1st and 14th Amendment right. The Charles, Missouri Police Department or the Charles, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department or the judges or nobody else ain't gonna make these people clean up. So I put it on my YouTube. And that's what they call ranting and raving. And that's why I was banned. But yet, let me show you this here. After that, we still had filth. And you can see it in my YouTube. Like I said, my bushes was burned. I might have said January the 4th of 2022, but it was on the 4th of July. And you can see with my security cameras where it came from. It came from the projects. It is on video. Not only that, on March the 19th, a white individual came from this house right over here that I'm complaining about, called itself indirectly threatening me, telling me to cut off of my phone a video, but I didn't. Then on that was on March the 19th, 2021. Then on March the 28th, 2021, a white female came from this same house, like I said, beating on my door. And then I escorted her off, and she came on this side, tearing my bushes up like her son was doing. I videoed her son, and I videoed him. I'd video her grandmama or her granddaddy if they came over here tearing up my bushes. You see what I'm saying? The police ain't gonna do nothing. But then, down the street, blacks and whites, with this family here, coming down here on March the 19th, all the way here, trying to attack me and my 2 daughters, who was 14 and 15 then, or 15 and 16 then. In about 16 or 17 minutes, the police or nobody didn't come at all. But the neighborhood came. Y'all see how clean it is over here with us? Now this is the Housing Authority. You see all this mess here. You see what I'm saying? But you see on our block, you see how clean it is? This is a 600 block. But then
the housing authority ain't worried about this here. He ain't worried about the people coming down here attacking us. He ain't worried about them burning up my bushes. He ain't worried about them after he abandoned me, them from this projects coming to my house on my property, trespassing. The police ain't even worried about it. But we're going to leave it at that for right now. Now let's finish reading this letter from the Executive Director of the Housing Authority, Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. Mr. Ivy, you are hereby banned and barred from all housing property. If you are seen trespassing on Charleston Housing Authority property, criminal trespassing charges will be filed for prosecution by Charleston Housing Authority, the Charleston Department of Public Safety, the Police Department, the Mississippi County Sheriff Department, CHH, which is the Charleston Housing Authority employees, the U.S. Department of HUD, the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority attorney, and the state prosecuting attorney will be provided a copy of this bandit notice. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. Paul M. Page, Executive Director of the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority. Now, did you pay close attention to all them people that he said he was going to notify? And this is October of 2022. And this letter was written, I believe, March the 9th, a day after I sent the information to his boss, the HUD in St. Louis. And it was delivered to me by a Charleston police officer who had no authority to bring it. Because if you look up and down this letter, you don't see nothing stamped with nothing sealed. This the envelope that it came in. And if you look on the back side of it, it never been sealed. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, now all these people he said he gonna have to notify me. Notify concerning me if I trespass. What did he do for the white family that I was complaining about? Who did he notify when some of his company came beating on my door, a white female? Did they watch the YouTube? Did he notify all the housing authority attorney and the prosecuting attorney and all the other employees? What about the white people's children that came tearing up my bushes? What about the white people's children that threw just recently, September the 22nd, 2022, came down here by my house, right across from my house, had a big pit bull with him, threw the ball that he noted the pit bull go at, and threw it in my yard where the pit bull came in, and some of his company trespassing on my property and to try to retrieve the pit bull in the basketball. But my bottom line is, if I'm going to be banned, ban me for something. And if you're going to talk about once I complained to the Human Rights Commission, now all of a sudden you want to do what you should have been doing, monitoring that filthy family because they was filthy down at 719 Vine Street in the other project that burnt up November the 5th, 2021. Paul Page know that because he was down there. If y'all don't believe me, I have the YouTube video that I made showing the fire department didn't even know how to put out a fire. But let me tell you something just recently, a day or two ago, an individual that lived down there by 719 that has connection with the housing authority said he just recently told Paul Page when they get through fixing up 719 Vine Street, they do not want that family back down there. Why don't you think they don't want them back down there? Because how filthy they is. But I'm going to leave it at this here. If you going to send the police to give me a letter saying
that I'm banned and barred for nothing, for just speaking up. Because I never said anything to any one of your employees or the family other than telling them, asking them, can they keep their children and company off of my property and stop throwing all that trash. I showed them the trash on YouTube. But if you're going to talk about selling with me, then talk about something that y'all shouldn't be doing. It's your job to make sure that filthy family keep that place over there clean on the other side of my bushes. It's the housing authority job to get them leaves. You see what I'm saying? And if you're going to cut the trees down, cut them down. If you don't, leave them up. If you're going to put a fence up, put it up or don't put it up. But that's not selling nothing with me. Tell me once you get through watching them videos from March the 19th, 2021 concerning that family and Brian Campbell, a white felon. And then on March the 28th, 2022, Brian Campbell, again, a white felon. Robert Bogan Jr., a couple of more of his kin people, and some more blacks and whites that came down from the projects, the Charleston, Missouri projects off of Vine Street and off of Warhousing, on the corner of Vine and Warhousing. And the video show it because I sent it to the parole and probation officers for Mississippi County. I sent it to the sheriff department. I sent it to the police department, the NAACP. Ain't nobody. And the Charleston, the Missouri Housing Authority, they done seen it, but ain't nobody did nothing about it. So, to me, that's discrimination and retaliation. If you want to sit down and talk about selling, the first thing you do, lift that ban. Second thing you do, move that family somewhere somebody want them. The people down there on the other end of Vine don't want them. Put them in your neighborhood. Put them in an all-white neighborhood and let's see how long they would put up with him. Then you think about the humiliation of sending the police down to my house with that letter, deteriorizing that the people from the housing authority done to my daughter and me on March the 19th and March the 23rd, burning up my bushes, continuously doing all type of things that would make it be known that they trespassing on my property. I'm going to leave y'all with something else. These two girls here, y'all, Queen Ramona Nicole Ivy, you see what she surrounded by as a little girl? Books, knowledge, seeking knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Bertie Mae Ivy II, my baby, you see what she's surrounded by? Books, knowledge from the cradle to the grave. They don't go around having pit bulls and basketball throwing it in other people's yards. They don't go around and them in their company beating on people's doors in the housing authority. They don't come down like a mob of gang bangers and thugs coming down here to threaten a 64-year-old man and a 15 and a 16-year-old little girl. They respectful girls. Both of them had a driver's license. Both of them working. You ain't gonna see now one of them out in the streets. If you do, let me know. Paul Page and anybody else from the housing authority that said that they're afraid of me, I ain't never threatened now one. I ain't never came to now one of y'all and threatened y'all. If you ain't doing your job, then you're wrong. I can express what you ain't doing on my YouTube, and I'll keep on doing it. I just showed you today. Almost 7 months later, what you're not doing. Peace be still.